Now then YouTube, I'm the Toffman and welcome back to Feed the Beast Interactions. It is part number 3 today. I hope you are enjoying this series. In the last episode, we managed to complete the portal and go into the overworld. Well, it's just turned daytime, so let's pop through. Let's get our shield up, because usually there are some spiders kicking around. Normally on top of the portal, but it seems that is not the case. Well, guys, we are in the overworld, and as I said to you in the previous episode, I did go ahead and get rid of a load of the trees that are around our little portal area, and I made the place a little bit safer. I also preemptively went to go and find some ore veins. Well, I've managed to find a ligma vein, I've managed to find a copper vein, an iron vein, a magnetite vein, and I did find a redstone vein, I think, or at least the plant. I think it's somewhere over there. There it is. I don't know why that's not showing up on here, because I definitely picked it up. But maybe I've got to go up there and pick the plant up again. But here we are. This is where we currently are. So I've got the scanner in hand, which is just down here. To use this, it needs a scanning module. Now I thought to myself, okay, let me have a quick look. And on the quest here, they've got 3 different modules, some scanning modules to put into the scanner. Scanner for rare ores. The rare ore upgrade scanner is required to find all nearby GT ores. And then this scanner for range. And then where is the precious scanner for specific blocks that can help pinpoint ores that you're really after once you obtained at least 1 block. Additionally, the block scanner can help locate dungeons by searching for chests. Now that would be interesting, but I think we need something in here. I don't know if it's the rare ore upgrade to find all near GT ores, in which case we need a blank scanner module and surround it by low covalence dust. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I need this blank scanner module. Oh my god, it needs redstone, it needs this, it needs that. I didn't realise it's got an EMC on it. So you know what that means, guys? It's in the EMC, the transmutation table. So we can pick out the blank scanner module there and then surround that with some low covalence dust. And it is a work table recipe. I do believe it doesn't need any sort of thing around it, any liquids. Sorry, that is not what I wanted to put into there. And there is the scanner module. And I think that they've intentionally made that a little bit easier for us so that we can stick that into our scanner. Where is our scanner? There it is. I think we shift right click, yes, and we can put the scanner module into the top there. So why don't we go and give this a try? I'm going to go up to the gold flowers there and see if there's anything we can see from our little scanner there. These are the gold flowers. I've picked these up. Now, what I have tended to do, I don't think I've done it with this chunk yet, is I bring up the chunk boundaries like this. You can see that all the flowers are mainly contained probably in this chunk. As you can see, there's quite a few flowers around here. And what I tend to do is pick a corner and then dig down into it. And then, you know, sort of follow the chunk boundaries around and around and around and just keep digging down. Unfortunately, my pickaxe has run out. Now, that's the only thing with this is you need to go through quite a few pickaxes. There is something I want to try, though, try to get in today's episode that will make this process a hell of a lot easier. But at the moment, we're just going to go ahead and use this scanner module. Okay, it's charging. And there you can see it, guys. That is a GregTech ore vein right down there. And it shows us what we can see, which is a full vein of gold, which is absolutely amazing. We're not going to go down to there and start mining it out just now, but I just wanted to show you how the scanner worked. So I mentioned a second ago, I have a plan in mind for pickaxes. There is a quest a little bit further down. I think, is it here? Here we are. In the metallurgy tab, you can see there, we've got the learning your multiplication tables. To get this, we need any iron ore, but it has to be specifically iron ore. It cannot be anything that can smelt down into iron. It has to be one of these 5 iron ores, as you can see. And what that will do is it unlocks the couple of quests around here. What we would then need is an iron hammer. What we would then do is crush that down. And then from there, we would cleanse that. And then, guys, the one that we're aiming for today, iron dust, cauldron. And then we get a jackhammer, which has mending on it. Now, this is going to be much, much better for us than these flint pickaxes. That much I can definitely say for sure. Oh, by the way, guys, beds. I went ahead and spawned a couple of sheep. And I got myself a bed. They don't work. They don't actually allow you to sleep through the night. So that is something that we've got to keep in mind. What it does mean for you guys is you will obviously never probably see me at night for quite a few episodes until I'm sort of geared up to be able to deal with that, because what I do is pop over to this world where nothing can spawn and just wait the night out here and then go back in the daytime. That's the easiest way that I've found to be able to deal with this. But for now, let's take our scanner and let's go and find ourselves some of that iron ore. I found some lily of the valleys. Now these are actually quite useful for something called a nature's compass. I do believe you can craft this, yeah, but we need some Britannia stuff first. We need some liquid mineral resin and a compass to be able to make this. So just something to keep hold of. I've just been going ahead and adding some waypoints on this map here. So there's another copper one. Now, I'm not a fan of this map. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of this map at all. It does allow you, by the way, guys, to right-click and it says teleport here. Now, I don't know if that's an option because I've got cheats enabled or if that's just an option that it allows you to do. But let me know if you think that that's too cheaty and I will not use that. Might as well do something productive whilst I wait and fill my EMC table back up. Oh, finally, we found another ghost orchid, which should be iron ore. Well, let's give this a try. You see, this is what I was getting last time. It's just banded iron, limonite and malachite. I can't seem to find any actual iron ore in these veins, which is slightly frustrating. I have a feeling that it's probably due to the fact that we're in like a forest biome. It may be a biome thing, and in which case I'm going to have to find different biomes to find the iron ore that we're actually after. Oh, that is a real shame. Oh, hold on a second. I had a look in the iron vein here and it shows you all of the ones that are underneath these ghost orchids. In fact, it's Gloriosa Daisy that has iron ore under it. And would you believe it, guys? I've just literally gone past one of those where I did mark it on my map. I'm not entirely sure why it's not turning up. It's here, look. Here it is, gold magnetite. All right, well, I'm going to dig down here and see what I can find. Well, it's definitely here, guys, as you can see. I've just... Oh, there we go. There's the iron ore that we need for this. My God, I've gone through 3 pickaxes here to be able to get to this. So let's go and grab a little bit of this, guys, and we can take this back home and use it for the quest. So there's the quest. It is in this one here. So now we've just got to make an iron hammer, which we've already done. We get that crushed iron ore there. This crushed copper and crushed iron. With this crushed iron, that seems a bit weird. It's given us that as a thing. That's really strange that it's given us it as a reward and then it's actually a quest. But there we go. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Impure piles of redstone dust. Let's grab that as well. So now what we need to do is get an impure pile of iron dust. Okay, let's give this a try then. The iron hammer. This should drop crushed ore. It does. Fantastic. Oh, I burn iron ingots in fire to make raw iron. Okay, that's pretty easy. I should have enough then to be able to make the cauldron. There we go. 11 wrought iron ingots. Now, we've got to smash these with a hammer, by the looks of things, to be able to make the cauldron. Okay, hammer with some wrought iron ingots. Now, that with a hammer again makes wrought iron plates. And cauldron... Is that around a hammer? Okay, we're very, very close now, guys. Just got to pop this in there. And there is our cauldron. Brilliant. That is the task completed, actually. And now we can get some iron dust. So we need to get our impure piles that we've got here and put some water in this cauldron. And Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. We've done it. And water in the cauldron. Let's go and throw these impure piles in there. Oh, it does actually use up some of the water, as you can see. That's fantastic. Okay, I'm glad we ironed that out. Guys, we've got the jackhammer, which is absolutely amazing. It's going to be so much easier for us to go mining with this thing. But also, because it's got mending on it, we can actually gain experience, and that will go ahead and mend that back up. It will repair it. So, of course, we know about this with these things, the lotus seeds, that we can get experience from these. So we can eat the lotus blossoms as well as use our jackhammer, and that will repair our oh my goodness. Okay, there's a few nasties kicking around. I must have left it too long last time. Come on then. Let's be having you. This guy's got a shield. Oh my god, he jumped at me. What is he doing? Well, we very nearly died, guys, but not to worry. We are at home, which means we can go ahead and make some of those instant health potions. Here he is. Now, he's actually got a decent amount of range on him. He's the only one left, so we've managed to get that. So, I'm off to the gold magnetite vein. Well, here we are. We are back down in the mines. Let's go and give this jackhammer a try. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Does that go straight into your inventory as well? It does. It doesn't even pop it on the ground. You can just mine to your heart's content. This is absolutely amazing. I love this jackhammer. As I said as well, it's got unbreaking on it. Now, if you just... sorry, it's got mending on it. So if you just pop it into your offhand and eat the lotus blossoms, it will actually just repair the hammer as you're going along. So that is... Oh, this is going to be absolute game-changing for us early game here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, guys, is I'm going to put a little montage here of me going ahead and mining as much as I physically can for as long as I physically can, or I think I need to. GregTech needs a lot of stuff, namely copper and tin, I do believe, really early on so that we can get ourselves some bronze and then getting into the Bronze Age. So without further ado, guys, here we go. Back home, and I'm just going ahead and putting some more experience back into my jackhammer as it's been used quite a lot. If we take a look in this chest here, look at the amount of stuff we've managed to pick up just from those two little mining trips to a gold mine and a copper mine, or vein, or however you want to call it. There's a lot of stuff here that we can use to start off where we need to go. However, I know that within GregTech and stuff like that, and this pack in particular, we need quite a bit of copper ore. So guys, I don't think this is enough. I think I'm going to need a lot more copper. But let's take a quick look at this here, which shows us... Oh, it's probably this one here. So we need to get the copper, but we also need alchemical brass, which is part of Thaumcraft by the looks of this. And we're going to go through a little bit of Thaumcraft as well. This alchemical brass, by the way, does require copper and, in this case, instrumentum. So... that's how we get alchemical brass. So we need a lot of copper. And I don't think that this measly amount is anywhere near enough when it comes to GregTech. Now, we have got some chalcopyrite. And chalcopyrite can actually, if we follow the massive chain that goes into this, crushed chalcopyrite. And that can be made into impure chalcopyrite dusts. I do believe that chalcopyrite... the impure chalcopyrite dust can be made into copper nuggets. It's not a lot though, let's be honest. So I think we've got to go back out there and find a few more copper veins. I think what we can do, however, is take a look at this. So we've got a copper ingot here, and that makes 16 copper dust. We can certainly get this. It actually unlocks, if we carry on through this here, it unlocks the multi-block oven, the smelter, the smeltery. This would be really useful for us rather than the porcelain smelter to get going. So we actually get given some lava cells for this as well, so that's going to be pretty decent. Normal furnaces are disabled, but you can get an automatic upgrade to a seared furnace. It will provide you with fast, bulk and efficient smelting early game. Pure ores smelt in stacks of 16 a slot. nugget results can melt unless result is 16 or less. So we can use this we've got here to make ourselves, I think this is an ingot cast, it is indeed. We need a little bit of lava though, so what I'm going to try to do is, I think, can we make a tank? Is that a thing that we can make? And I mean, by a tank, I mean this guy, because I think it does hold, or it used to. Yeah, retains liquids when broken. So we need a glass surrounded by seared bricks. We've got that. I've actually made 2 seared tanks. What I'm also going to do is make a load more grout and put the grout into this. Now, there was a comment on my last episode saying that I don't need this hopper and it will put it straight into the chest. I did try this out. I think it was off camera though, but I did try this out. I will move the chest to see if this actually works and give this a quick try. Okay, so the cobblestone is in there. It's going to get smelted up. It's going to get spat out onto the white conveyor belt there, and it should, if the guy is correct, it will just put it automatically into the chest. I don't know if that's actually the case, but we'll soon find out. We may be able to put just the hopper straight on the underside of that upgrade there. No, it just stays on top of the chest there, and that's the issue that we've got at the moment. So what I can probably do, however, is change this setup slightly and just put the whopper straight underneath into the chest. No, I can't do that either because the extraction conveyor upgrade does need the conveyor underneath. I think that'll be enough grout to keep us going for the moment, guys. It's going to take a while to smelt up, though. We could possibly extend this system out here and just have conveyors spitting out of here. But I don't think I've got enough the extraction conveyor belts to do this. So I think I'll leave it as it is for the moment, and we'll play it by ear. But first and foremost, guys, I really have to, before I go out and get some more copper, upgrade our jackhammer with a full amount of health. Now, I was going to say, if I remember correctly, there is a lava pool underneath here, and there is. So I'm going to use this to go and collect some lava for what is going to be our smeltery. And here we go. Here is the lava pool that we have. So let me go ahead and set down these. I didn't bring... Oh, that's really annoying. I didn't bring my mitts. Oh, let's go back. Right, let's try this again with the mitts this time. We'll pop them into our offhand, and we shall get to work. And here we are back at home. I'm going to put the seared tanks just down there, so now we don't need our mitts on us. It does take damage, don't forget, to the mitts, so we're going to have to make some new ones of them at some point soon. I'm not sure what these 9 passion fruit things are. I did harvest some passion fruits, but they've got no use. In fact, I've got 3 passion fruits, which means if I get an oak sapling from here, it means that I can craft myself a passion fruit tree. And I'm going to have a whole host of trees in here, guys. I think the first thing I'm going to craft is going to be pretty much obvious here, guys. I need iron for, instead of using buckets every time I want to get some lava out of here, I'm going to make an iron bucket, and of course that will stick around with me. It won't just disappear as soon as I've used it on lava. Right, I need a load of double iron ingots, and then put them with that, and I get a iron plate. Now I do believe we need to put this into a basic work table with the hammer in the middle. Is that not correct? No, it needs the hammer as that recipe there. So in that thing, basically. And there we go. We've got a bucket that will be constantly reused and won't just constantly break on us, which is nice. Let's make this setup a little bit better on ourselves, shall we? And automate this thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the porcelain tank just underneath there. We're going to get the porcelain melter, stick that on top of there, and we're going to get the seared faucet, put that there. But also we'll put our little redstone clock that we've got here on the back, and our lever just on the side. Now that's going to turn it off, as you can see. That will turn it on. But what we're going to do is stick our copper ore in there, leave that running. It's got our ingot cast in there, so every time it melts this down, the copper will get put into here, and when it's ready, it will get pulled out by this whopper and into this chest. Let's see this in action then. The copper is very, very nearly melted. It's very quick to melt, is this copper. There we go. You can see it's getting smelted down into copper ingots there, ending up in the chest there. And that is basically how we end up with an automated situation here. So I'm going to get a trapdoor, I'm going to get another whopper and another chest, and I'm going to stick that on the side by the porcelain melter itself, so that we've got a constant supply of copper going into this chest. Not the best looking setup in the world, but it does work. And we've got some copper in here. If we take that, we've done that copper quest we needed to do. And now we can go the alchemical brass way, or we can go this getting started with copper way, which is what we're going to do, because I want this sort of smeltery so that we can make a massive version, not just this tiny little melter that we've got here. Incidentally, guys, I don't know if you can make a big porcelain melter. It may be the case that you can do more than 3 at once with this little setup. I don't know. But we're going to keep things as they are, and we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves 2 copper plates. So we need a double ingot to do that. Okay, so we need 4 ingots altogether. That's fine, we've got that. 2 double ingots, 2 copper plates, and there we go. That is that quest done, which unlocks the seared furnace controller. We need 6 seared bricks, 2 copper plates and a hammer, and that will get us the seared furnace controller with a little bit of lava as well, of course. It just so happens that's exactly what is left in our work table over here. So once we've got this, we need a hammer to bash it, and there we go, seared furnace controller. This is the start of actual Tinker's Construct. We can make a big meltery now, and one that will do way more than 3 at once. Let's pick up some of the quests. We've got 16 copper dusts. We've got 2 green slime blocks and 1 chimichanga. And we've got 4 of those lava cells as well. Interestingly enough, Squeezer Automation Insights by Taz. We'll have a look at that in a second, but it has unlocked this. The squeezer is a very early and inefficient method of processing ores. Its advantage is that when it's automated, it can process ores very quickly and keep you progressing towards the LV stage. It is recommended as your first ore processor. We get 16 redstones and a miner's stew for that as well. So the squeezer is a very early. We've read that. To create the squeezer, you'll need to mine and melt iron and cast the iron into a basin for the block. The squeezer can be automated with some redstone and a slime block, so that's why we've got given that slime. I knew there was something else we needed to go out mining for, guys. Tin. Tin is something. Now, we have found tin in the other world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything away. I'm actually going to eat this chimichanga once I can, because it's going to give us a lot of saturation. I do need to heal myself up as well. Has just fed through. We've got 59 copper there. I'm going to start putting some tin in here as well so that we can start making some of that bronze. Actually, come to think of it, isn't it an alloy? So that's probably not what we want to do. In fact, it does look like we've got to make copper dust and tin dust to get bronze dust as a recipe. We can't just go ahead and straight away do it like that. We can do it in the alloy smelter when we get access to that. 3 copper and 1 tin dust, and we get 4 bronze that way as well. But until that point, it seems as if we've got to go do the dust way. And to do that, I believe we've got to put this on the floor and start smacking it with a hammer to get the ores like that. Yeah, I think so. And then we get around to getting the dust with this way as well. There we go. Tin dust. We're going to have to get that set up. We're going to have to get some sort of water for this. I don't know if there's an easier way of doing that, but we may have to just use the ice out of the thing. But anyways, we've got the tin dust we need. We've got the copper dust we need in one of the chests kicking around somewhere. There it is. So we've just got to combine this now. 3 copper and 1 tin. And that gives us bronze dust. Although the quest has not come up, so I'm presuming... we need bronze ingot. Okay, so we just smelt this down in the porcelain melter. Yes, to make bronze. Okay. And here we go. Bronze ingots achieved. That is 1 quest done. We get no reward for that whatsoever. Or if you made the squeezer already, you can put ores straight into that and get the dusts. Shapecraft. So we do need to get that squeezer by the sounds of it. And that squeezer is a block of iron, some iron and planks. Actually, that's not too bad. We can probably go ahead and make this. Now, I'm wondering if I can use the casting basin here as well. And now obviously we need a full block of iron, which means we need that casting basin. I'm going to grab some. I've definitely, yeah, we definitely have got some kicking around, that is for sure. Let's go ahead and melt some of this up. It can go straight into the casting basin. Okay, that is decent enough. Right, we have the block of iron now. So we just put the block of iron there. I do believe it was 2 sticks there, an iron ingot, and sorry, 2 planks there, and 4 sticks around there. We got the squeezer. Now, does this require any form of power? To create the squeezer, you'll need to mine and melt iron. The squeezer can be automated with some redstone and a slime block. So we've got some redstone there. We've got the miner's stew. It says squeezer automation insights by Taz. I don't want to go and follow that just yet. However, if we are probably going to place the squeezer, I don't really know what the size of this thing's going to be. I assume that we put a block in here. Yes, we do. Okay. Redstone and slime. How on earth does it squeeze it? Do I perhaps jump on the top of this or something? Yes. Okay, I do. And then that pops out a tin dust. Okay. And how does it reset itself? I'm going to have a look at that, guys. It may be that I follow that guide. I don't know how it resets itself. Maybe it's a redstone signal or something like that. I don't know. But it does seem interesting and that we can go ahead and automate that way using that. But for the moment, I really don't need to. I can go through this long procedure here if I really want to. But this is GregTech, don't forget. And we need a lot of bronze. We need a lot of bronze plates. We need all that sort of stuff. So maybe getting the tin dust tin dust and copper dust that way is a hell of a lot quicker doing it like that than it would be through there. Of course it is to get the bronze, because we need a ton of bronze. So at the moment it wants us to make a bronze plate. We can do that. There we go. 1 bronze plate completed. It's just showing us the way through here because this bronze hull requires a lot of bronze plates and it needs brass plates as well. So that is something that we need to get through. So alchemical brass, that a central theme to this pack is side-by-side progression of both technology and magic. Some magical materials may be used reasonably in tech and vice versa. To get started in the Bronze Age, you'll need brass, which would be plentiful in the Nether. Without Nether access currently, however, you'll have to resort to magic to create your first pieces of brass. You'll need to invest a bit of time and resources into early Thaumcraft to make the brass. See the What Is This Sorcery questline for more assistance. So what is this sorcery? There it is. So we need to get through this, baby's first metallurgy, basically. So that means we need... Can I move this out of the way whilst I have a look at what quests it needs? No, I can't. Okay, so it needs the crucible. Okay, so the start of this is that these crystals are shiny. Now, for some strange reason, it's put that as a quest on the right hand side there. I did not want that to happen. Let's unpin that. We need to find out in the overworld any of these V's crystals and pick them up. Any V's crystal, pick it up, and we get all 5 as a reward here. With that, we can make Salis Mundus, which then we can make the Thaumonomicon, then we can make the Crucible, then we can go towards baby's first alchemical metallurgy. So it seems as if this episode is going a different way than what I expected it to. Now, I like Thaumcraft. My channel has probably been built predominantly on Thaumcraft, so I'm not happy. I'm not sad about this. Let's go. I've decided, guys, I want to make one of those healing salves just to see how much health it brings back. I've had a few tangles with a few zombies, and I just want to heal myself back up. Yeah, any type of flower. I've got some poppies there, and that makes some healing salves. Let's see what this actually does. Oh, that does multiple. Actually, that's really, really useful. That is so much better than the instant healing that we got from those things there. And they just use so much of your raw beef as well, which I've constantly been using. I should have just used these to start with. This is actually really, really good. And we actually get a band-aid and some bacon pancakes for doing the quest for the healing salve. Let's take a look at what this does. I have no idea. Oh, it seems like another multi-use, maybe sort of healing thing. Maybe it stops you from bleeding. I don't know if there's status effects or anything like that in this pack. I've just realised whilst going through some of these things and seeing this plant here, the cataplant, that it does have emerald and air-infused veins. Now, it does seem as if this version of Thaumcraft, where the crystals are, it doesn't actually generate the crystals. It generates the ore with these plants. So, do you know what? I'm going to give it a little bit of a dig down here. And whoa, what was that? Something just slapped me in the face. I'm not sure what it was, but best keep my eye out. Oh, it's probably the plant. Yeah, it is the plant. But what I'll do is I will have a little dig down here. I do need some more torches before I do this, and we'll get some infused veins. Interestingly enough, I have found that this actually goes down a little bit of a rabbit hole. So we've got some air-infused ore here from this vein that we've found just underneath, and that it actually opens up the ability, as you can see, a pure daisy. Putting it around a pure daisy will actually make them into air crystals, which is of course what we actually need. But we need the pure daisy to be able to do that. Now, the pure daisy actually requires the healing salve and an oxide daisy with mana, liquid mana, inside a basic work table. Now, this is possible. We have got access to mana that is floating around on the upper side on the overworld. We've also can get some oxide daisies as well. And of course, we've just created some healing salve. So this shouldn't be too hard to do. I'm going to get these little bits and bobs, and I'll meet you back at home to be able to start some of this. You've got to embrace the GregTech rabbit hole. It seems I've got some oxide daisies from when I bone mealed the floor over there. So let's grab one of those. I do need to get some mana though from the overworld, so let me quickly do that. You'll see on the map, actually, if we take a look at the map, there is blue pools, and they're slightly bluer than the rest that's kicking around. I think these blue pools are mana pools. This is water, and I'm sure these are mana pools. Let's go over to this one right here, and we can see if it is or not. Here we go. It's literally right next to the portal here, but this is mana. There is a mana bucket right here. That's going to be 1,000. That's going to be enough to be able to create as the pure daisy. So let's do that. Just so happens I had a healing salve ready and waiting. So there we go. That is the pure daisy. And there's actually some quests attached to this. Let's have a quick look. See what that's actually opened for us. Okay, it's here. So a mana bucket. Mana is primal driving force behind all magic in this pack. It's a liquid that populates the world in small pools and can be turned into energetic form of mana used by spreaders in the mana extrapolator. Don't know what those are, but we're going to find out what they are going forward. So we've got the Manacia monocle and a tungsten steel drum with a fluid capacity of 256 buckets. Now that's actually pretty decent. I don't know if we can place this down and then pickaxe it back up. We can indeed. Okay. And it's still in one piece. That's good. So if I am correct, we need to place this around the pure daisy to be able to get the crystals that we need for the quest. While that's doing that, we've unlocked this. So we get a mystical white petals. Okay. That's all right, I suppose. I don't know if we keep these and do something with them. I cannot remember. It's been a long time since I've done Britannia, but we'll see. Here we are. I thought it would have the crystals on the floor, but it doesn't. It just literally turns them into actual crystals. So that's given us the quest completed. It's popped up here. We've got all of these different V's crystals as well from this one. We can mine these if we want to. We've just got to find out where they are in the overworld, so that's fine. We get Salus Mundus. Now, with the Salus Mundus, we can spread this over a bookcase to get the Thaumonomicon. So let's grab ourselves some Salus Mundus. Now we need to, as far as I'm aware, we need to grind 3 of these down. Is that correct? No. We need low covalence dust around any sort of V's crystal with a tiny bit of mana in there. Okay, that's new. And here we go. Salus Mundus. Lovely, that'll give us the one piece. And the quest is completed. Also gives us another piece of Salus Mundus and a Salisbury steak. Lovely. In fact, we need to eat, so why not nom on that now? And here we have a bookshelf, nicely crafted. We just need to sprinkle some Salus Mundus dust on that bookshelf, and there we go. The Thaumonomicon is ours. So with that now in mind, we can go ahead and make the crucible, which will then unlock alchemical brass. All this just to get into the first part of GregTech, guys. Welcome to the grind. I do look spiffing, if I do say so myself. Anyways, guys, I am back. I've done a little bit of work just in between clips there. I've gone ahead and created a load more storage for some of the bits and bobs that we've now managed to get. I did go ahead and make that contraption that has the squeezer in the middle there. And I also put a stack of each type of ore that I had. Didn't realise that actually one of those turns into tin. So I end up with 3 stacks of tin dust, 2 stacks of copper, beryllium, vanadium magnetite, and gold dust. Now that'll be useful going forwards. I've also extended this little area out, so I have little farms. Our little tree farms are going ahead nicely. Now, what I'm going to do for the end of this episode, to finish this episode off, should I say, I think we're going to go ahead and get ourselves the Bronze Age is the 3rd best age. And I think we're going to go towards the small steam coal boiler and able to sort of get this thing running and up and running and going. So to do this, we need some bronze plates, we need a hammer, and we need 3 bricks. Now, the only thing is, it does require a steady supply of water. Whereas, when we're looking at this, actually, one of the things that we want to get is the Everfull urn. It's the only thing that I can think of that will allow us to be able to get water in the early game here. We've also got some fluid conduits and fluid ducts there given to us as a reward, which is nice. Provides water slowly to any adjacent tank. Can be and probably should be turned into an aqueous accumulator. Now, the aqueous accumulator, if we take a quick look over here, is not that easy to get at this moment in time. It does require an Everfull urn. It does require a couple of fluid ducts and some wrought iron plates, as well as a redstone clock. All of this we can actually craft, guys, but we need to get that Everfull urn before anything else. Okay. So that leads me on to my next problem. So as we look into this, we can just go ahead and make this, and then it will unlock all of these quests that are underneath, and it'll unlock this. But I did say I wanted to get the alchemical brass. Now, that's a lot. That's a lot in just one single clip there, guys. We're going to take our Salus Mundus, and we're going to sprinkle it over this crafting table here, and that is going to get us an arcane work table. That, if I can find the, there it is, the Thaumonomicon, is the next thing for us to get. So we've got the arcane workbench, we can complete that. Now it wants us to get a thermometer and observe some fundamentals. Okay, so we've got to make our thermometer. That actually requires some gold plates, 4 gold plates, and a mana orb. I don't know how to craft a mana orb, but let's have a look. Interestingly enough, if we put sand around the pure daisy, we get glass. How we get that and pick that up without it breaking is another matter. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work, but we're going to give it a try regardless. Okay, so let's give this a try. I think Vein Miner, let's see if that works. It does, however, it does drop all of the glass shards. It doesn't actually drop the glass itself, but that's no bother. We can go ahead and make that glass back up again. Now, for a glass orb, it requires glass panes in this figuration here, and we get 4 glass orbs for our troubles. We are going to have to pop into the overworld and fill these with mana. Now, is it just a case of right-clicking these? No. Do I throw them in? Yes, I do. 8 gold ingots later, let's bash these down into the double ingots, and then of course that will allow us to make the gold plates there. So now we should be able to pop this into here. There is some Vis available in the aura, as we can see, 158 available there for us, so we can do this. It will take from this. So I'm thinking to myself, because there's some really nasty stuff that can be in Thaumcraft that can cause some real issues. So I'm wondering whether or not doing Thaumcraft entirely in this dimension would be a good idea. I think that if we keep this separate from what's going to be in the overworld, then that might be a good idea. Let me know in the comments section, guys, whether or not that will be something that will actually be beneficial to do it in this dimension. I don't know. Let me just go ahead and quickly eat a couple of things. Get that food all the way back up. So now we've got this. We need to observe some fundamentals. So with this, inventory scanning is available. Oh, you just hover over it. I completely forgot that was the thing. You literally just hover over it and it finds everything there. So you have learned something new. It's all popping up there. We need to find something. We need one level of fundamental. So let me really quickly go ahead and scan a load of things, and hopefully we can find it. Okay, somewhere in all of that, I've managed to get a level of fundamentals. Let's go ahead and complete that. And that will allow us to unlock the next area. So discovering alchemy. I do believe, we need another level of fundamentals. And what is this? We need to observe alchemy. We've already done that. We just need another level of fundamentals. So once again, let's go ahead and scan around. Oh, that's useful. It actually goes ahead and scans everything that's in the chest, as you can see. There's a load of stuff coming through. That's mad. We should have enough now. Yep, definitely got enough there. And it wants us to make a crucible. And of course, Salis Mundus is used on a cauldron to go ahead and make that crucible. Let's go ahead and pick that up, pop it back down. It should empty it. Yes, it has. And we'll go ahead and make some more Salis Mundus. Here we go, Salis Mundus. Let's go and sprinkle it over the cauldron and make that into a Thaumcraft crucible. Now this is where all the nasty stuff comes into the environment, so we're going to have to be really, really careful here if it wants us to do anything with that at the moment. So we have completed that. Now it doesn't actually want us to do anything else. However, let's have a look at the thing here. So we need to get to alchemical brass. So it's a crucible recipe. We took a copper ingot. We need alchemical metallurgy with some instrumentum. So let's go and have a quick look. Alchemical metallurgy. I think it may be in a different tab. Ah, right. Okay, it's here. So basic alchemy. Is it just a case of reading that? Yes, it is. Okay, that's good. Alchemical brass, then copper in with some instrumentum, and that will give us alchemical brass. If I remember this correctly, guys, we've got to light a fire underneath the cauldron and put some water in there, let it bubble, and then chuck something in there that's got instrumentum in. And as much as we possibly can, we want to try to give ourselves enough instrumentum, just enough for the recipe and nothing else left in there so that it ends up in the environment. That is something we've really got to be careful with. Okay, the quest actually for the crucible gives us some quartz slivers. Now this is really, really useful for mopping up some of the excess essentia that's going to be left in there. So what I've found and what I'm going to do, let me just really quickly go ahead and accept all of this. We've got a command here, Thaumcraft research everfull earn. Can we just do that then? Is that allowed? / Thaumcraft research. Let's try that. So / Thaumcraft. There we go. HaighyorkieChilled gave you everfull earn research and its requisites. Okay, I didn't know it allowed us to do that, but it has given us the ability to be able to make the everfull earn. I want to go ahead and make this alchemical brass ingot, though. It gives us some extra ones, which is nice. I'm going to build outwards. I'm going to build a nice big area outwards for this, I think. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so right at the end of this extremely... Well, it's not extremely long, but it's long enough to keep it out of distance of everything so that nothing bad happens over here. We're going to go ahead, and when this starts bubbling, it will allow us to do some stuff. Right, okay, so what we need... we need a copper ingot. Okay, so how we're going to do this is we're going to put something in here so that we've got some essentia in there. So which we've got 5 mortars and 5 instrumentum with plastic. So what we need is the 5 instrumentum along with the catalyst, which is the copper ingot. Once we've got that there, it will pop out an alchemical brass ingot and leave behind the 5 mortars, which is what we don't want. We don't want to leave the mortars there because we'll end up making the environment really bad for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this into the crucible. We're going to quickly chuck in the copper ingot after it to get the alchemical one, and then we're going to chuck in some quartz slivers because that will mop up all of the mortars that's left. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. There's the alchemical ingot. And is that it? Oops, we don't want to kill ourselves. That would be terrible. I did think there was going to be more than what there was there. It doesn't seem. Whoops. Did I literally just pile that into there? The answer is yes, I did. That was a very stupid move. Oh, now I'm going to have to make another thermometer. Can't believe I just right-clicked in there. I forgot there's a mod that allows you to just right-click things in. That's exactly what's just happened there. And we've managed to get some aurum, I suppose, and some sensors and other bits and bobs that we really don't need. I'm wondering what's happened there, because we did end up with 5 left over from this from making the alchemical brass ingot. Yet we've only managed to get 2 Mortis crystals, and I don't know why. But there's nothing that's going to end up in the atmosphere. That was horrendous. Anyway, with that now done, we have unlocked the alchemical brass. Let's get some more of that stuff, which will allow us to unlock this quest over here and allow us to collect some purple niter and some more alchemical brass ingots. Now, the niter does act like a source of fire, I do believe, if I remember correctly. I'm really pulling as much information out of my tiny little brain as I can when it comes to Thaumcraft. It's been a long time since I played this version, and it's been a long time since I played Thaumcraft, but I absolutely love this version of Thaumcraft, so I'm sure I will get back into it. That being said, then, we've got to go ahead and get down to brass tacks, which is the brass plate. We want to make some brass plates, so really not too hard to do. Let's go ahead and grab our hammer along with that, make it a double brass ingot, and there we go. We've got our brass plate. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, guys. Gives us some zinc dust for that as well. So we've unlocked the ability to make some bronze hulls, which requires some brass plates. That is going to be useful for some other bits and bobs later on down the line. Some of these, I do believe, and some bricked bronze hulls, which allows us to do this alloy smelter. One of the ones I really want to beeline for is the steam forge hammer, which will allow us to create plates, I do believe, from 1 ingot rather than using the 2, and that requires the bronze hull, which requires the brass plate. So that's why it's asked us to go ahead and make this. But we are going to end this episode off here, guys, with the Bronze Age is the 3rd best age. The small steam coal boiler. So we need 5 bronze plates, a hammer, and 3 sets of bricks. Now, in between recordings, I have gone ahead and made some more bricks. And that will give us 4 altogether, but we only need the 3, so that's not too bad. Let's pop that back into there. I did also refill those over there with some more strainers so that we go and make a load more clay, as you can see, because we're probably going to need some of that. So I'm going to pile a load of clay back into here. And I also, as you can see, I made 2. I made another one of these extraction conveyor upgrades. Not cheap, I will tell you that. However, it does allow us to go ahead and double our output essentially over there. So, okay. We have, how many bronze plates do we have, by the way? We've only got the 1, but we do have some bronze ingots kicking around. I know this much. We need 5 altogether. That means we need 10 ingots, but we've already got the 1, so 8 will do. And there we are. The hammer in the middle. The bronze plates all around. The bricks at the bottom, and that gives us the small steam coal boiler. Fantastic. And there we go, guys. That has now unlocked some more bronze plates, which is great, but it is also once we've made a bronze hull and a bricked bronze hull, it will unlock all of these machines, which is the start of GregTech and the start of this pack proper. I'm in 2 minds on whether to do some stuff in this overworld or in this sort of dimension, or go into the overworld. I'm more than likely, and I'm erring on the side of maybe going into the overworld. I don't know, because GregTech can get quite laggy, and having a void dimension is a really good place to do that. If you guys have got any tips or anything like that, please go ahead and put them in the comments. It really will help me out when it comes to this. But of course, I think, do you know what? We're actually going to end off on making the Everfull urn, which is going to fill that coal boiler. We need a flower pot with 30 aqua, 10 fabrico, and 10 terra, and that will give us the Everfull urn. Actually, guys, I have found something that may be of use to us, and that is the glass cutter from Extra Utilities, which is here. So if we, I think it's something like that. It's a really strange recipe, but it should allow us to go ahead and take up this this glass without actually breaking it into shards. And here we go. Let's give this a try. Ah, it works. Oh, nice. That's well, that saves a little bit of time. Now, the reason why I've done that is because I want to go ahead and make some glass bottles. Now, these glass bottles are really going to help with aqua. I do need some water, though. So that is 10 terra. I've got 30 aqua. The only thing left to get for the Everfull urn is 10 fabrico. And I have no idea how to get this without having a lot of different other aspects in there as well. Okay, I've just filled this back up. Now, I've got a different plan in mind. So the flower pots are the catalyst. Dirt has the terra inside it. Water bottles have 10 aqua in there. And a crafting table has 20 fabrico. So instead of leaving 10 fabrico flying around, I'm going to make 2 Everfull urns. Oh, wish me luck, guys. I'm just going to perch myself on top of this. I'm going to pile everything in and hope I don't accidentally create something else. So what I should do is pile this in, pile all 6 of the water bottles, then the 2 flower pots, and we should be okay. Let's have a look. And there we go. We shouldn't be left with absolutely anything inside the crucible, which we're not, so that's fantastic. So the Everfull urn is created, guys. We've done that. That will go ahead and feed the coal boiler with water. We just need to, of course, put anything that burns inside that coal boiler as well, and then there we go. We've got steam, which is the start of GregTech. And do you know what, guys? That is going to be in the next episode. We're going to get into some GregTech. We're going to get into the Bronze Age of GregTech next episode. I do hope that you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please go ahead and leave a like. And consider subscribing if you've not already. Do you know, as soon as you put new videos up on YouTube, you seem to dip in subscribers. I never know why that is. But if you can, that would be absolutely fantastic. Show some love for the series. But anyways, guys, until next time, I've been the Soft Man. As always, stay safe.